Hi guys, we are going to do a twin flame read today. They are my most popular reads, so you gotta give the people what they want. How is everybody? Guys, at first, before we get started, I do have an announcement. Look at my wig. Look at her. This is by far my favorite wig. I am so excited about this. I did some research and she was very plastic. It's a synthetic wig and it was very looked very much like fake and plastic when it first came in, but I did some research and boiling them makes them look a little bit more natural. So I tried it last night and she came out so pretty and natural. She has a few little kinks in her. I thought about straightening it, but then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna let her be. Just gonna let her do her thing, you know? She wants to have a few little beachy waves. That's on her. I've named her Jessica, so she likes to go by Jess, her close friend. So Jess likes the beachy waves. She's all about the chill vibes. I have to give all of my wigs a personality, and this one by far is my favorite, just because it's the only natural one. All the other ones I have are like color wigs, which are fun, but it's really hard to make your roots look normal when you're in like a pastel wig. So this one is close to my natural color. It's a little bit more like red-ish. It's a weird brown, but I can get away with it. Anyway, how's everyone doing? How's your New Year's? I had a fun New Year's. I drank way too much and I lost. So where me and my friend went, they did like the professional photos, and I always like I take really good photos like in that scenario where someone is charging me money for this stupid photo. I always end up looking like that's the best photo ever, and I always get suckered into buying them. So I'm like, fine, give it to me. So I did that, and then I drank way too much, which I have a tendency to do, which is why I don't drink very often. It's because I always overdo it. So that happened. I drank too much and I lost my photo, and then when I called, they hadn't found it, so it's out there somewhere. Sad, especially since I paid for it. It's so sad, so stupid. No one to blame but myself. And freaking Long Island's. If I'm out with you and I start ordering Long Island's, it's time just to take me home. Just stop me. Stop me. That's where shit is about to go off the rails, which is probably the case for everybody. Is there anyone that just regularly drinks Long Island's and that's like their chill drink? No. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, hope everyone had a great time. I hope if you took some photos that you did not lose them like an idiot. Okay. Yeah, so we're just gonna pull some oracle cards. Damn this wig. Ugh. This is really what I needed in 2020, guys. This Jessica is really what I needed in my life for 2020. I don't think I'm ever taking this off. I think I'm going to permanently glue it to my head. Anyway, sorry. I'm in a weird mood today. I was in a weird mood yesterday. I wanted to film yesterday, and I was in like I was feeling very sassy yesterday, and I was like, if I read it and I get any type of like negative energy, I'm just gonna pop off. Like I was in one of those just in a more Martian mood yesterday, which is hard for me. I have an exalted Mars in my 6th house, which is like your day-to-day stuff. It's also the house of enemies. So it's really hard for me. Like I get very aggressive sometimes, and I try to I have a Capricorn moon too. So it's literally like the Hades and Hercules, where he goes up in flames, and then he's like, I'm cool. Like that's really how I am. I'm like, no, I'm chill, it's fine. But inside I'm like on fire. And I was like that yesterday for no real reason. I was just feeling, do you guys ever get that where you're just feeling like extra feisty and you're like, if anyone looks at me, I'm going to pop off for no reason. So I was just like, let me just not do a reading, because I'm going to end up I feel like I do that in some of my readings. I get, the energy, I'm feeling the energy when I do these, obviously. So if you watch multiple of my reads, you can tell I kind of hop around, especially doing the like different signs. That was exhausting. The different elements, that always tires me out. Anyway, first card out is cremation. So it's like a tower card, like things kind of burning down to the ground, things that didn't need to be there. So this is kind of like almost like a dark night of the soul type of energy, like just complete devastation. Like friends that you thought were your friends, you're being shown their true sides, like situations that like you thought were like good. You're kind of like, it's just like everything you were clinging to out of comfort, not necessarily like you enjoyed the relationship with that person, or it was just like I've known this person for forever, they're just in my life. Like now you're kind of being like forced away from those people. That's going to happen as we go into 2020, like jobs that aren't for you, relationships that aren't for you, situations like your apartment, like anything that's not really in alignment with who you are or who you need to be in 2020 is going to start pulling away from you. So it's going to start feeling uncomfortable anyway. But if you try to like fight it and cling to things as they're getting pulled away from you, bad shit, like you just get shaken up so bad. This happened to me. Like I knew I needed to leave counseling for a while. I was a counselor. I worked with kids, so I worked with like 5 years old up to like 19. My specialty was teenagers, though. I really vibe with teenagers. Like I like when they're like 8 and up, because then like, because I'm the type of person, we're getting sidetracked. I'm just chatty today, sorry. I'm the type of person that like, as a kid, I was really abused. I was abused by teachers. I was like, people treated me really bad. Because they always like because I was like smart, and I'm kind of like, I'm an intuitive person, so I instinctively can like read into people's like soft spots, like their weaknesses, and I didn't really understand it. Like now I understand what's happening, and I will distance myself from people just to like not freak people out. But when I was a kid, like you don't really know, so I would like say stuff to teachers that would like trigger them, and they would like lash out at me. So that happened to me a lot, and I was always treated kind of like, you know, like nobody ever listened to me. Like my voice was never heard as a kid. I always just felt very isolated. I felt like people treated me like I was stupid all the time, and like especially when you're like a female growing up in the South, it's just kind of like, just shut up and look pretty. And I'm like a very like I said, I have that Mars that makes me very like aggressive. I'm a go-getter. I'm like passionate about things, and I had to like suppress that stuff as a kid. So when I was working with kids, I prefer to work with them when they're a little bit more like have their personality, because I would just talk to them like a friend, and that's how like I really vibed with them, is when like kids, when you like treat them like they're like a person that has their own thoughts and personalities, like they open up, they blossom. And I loved it. I loved that part of it. But the like school system that I worked in was super toxic. The supervisor that I had for a while was great. But then I got a new supervisor who was really like in way over her head. And then like they switched the director, who was this like really bitchy woman. So it was like at that point that I was like, okay, I need to leave. But I had done counseling for so long that I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna stay in this. And like I loved my coworkers. They were amazing. We all had like a really good relationship with each other, very like close friendships. So I put off leaving, and I put off leaving. Even though I knew that I really needed to get out of there, it was turning very toxic. So what ended up happening is, so I worked for a company, but they would like contract us into schools. Sorry if this is not relevant, guys. I'm just in like a chatty mood. Just come back next week if you don't want to hear story times about my personal life, but it's relevant. I'll get to the point. So what ended up happening was I worked for the company, and they would like contract us out to different schools. And the school that I was working in, the kid that was my main client there was going through a very, very traumatic thing. I don't want to get into it, but it was like something that you would not wish on anybody, the type of trauma this kid was going through. And he was acting out, obviously. Like, he was 9 years old, going through something like awful, something really, really awful with his family life. So he was acting out, and my way of working with kids like that is I just let them fucking talk. I'm not going to like, oh, you need to walk on this side of the hallway. Oh, you can't say that word to me. Like, if you're venting and talking about this awful thing that happened to you and it's just you and me, if you say fuck, like, I'm not going to like get on you, you know? Like, I'm just like, I was very like focused on what was best for my kid, but the school that I worked in was very like, everything needs to be by the book. And I never got along with like school teachers anyway, just because I'm more like rebellious and more like, you know, I wasn't like doing anything awful. It was just like, my focus is what is best for the kid, not what is best for, this is gonna make the principal look good. I'm not gonna like, you know, like, I don't know. It's just gonna turn into a long video. The principal that I worked with, his way of dealing with this child was when he was acting out in the classroom, he would pull him into the principal's office with him and would give him his phone and let the kid play games. That's how he would handle this child. How I handled the child is when the child would act up and crawl under the table in the classroom, I would crawl under the table with him, and we would whisper back and forth until I would get him to where he was in a point ready to leave, and he would come with me, and then I would let him vent, and I would let him throw things around, you know, like, I had a very close relationship with this kid, and I did what was best for this kid. The principal was a piece of shit and did not do what was best for the kid. So at the end of the contract, it was a like, you know, they give their feedback, they say what they want, they say if they want to renew. The principal said that he didn't want me to be at the school anymore. He wanted someone older and someone that would follow like his type of discipline more. Like let me just give you the phone to get you out of the classroom and then ignore your actual needs. It just like, it's toxic as hell. So he ended up saying he didn't want me at the school anymore, and so they had like this new director that was the worst. She didn't know me, she didn't know like my experience, she didn't know my personality or my relationship with my kids. So she was just like, they kind of like pushed me out of the company. It was a like, you can stay on if you want to, but we don't have a school for you right now because all the other schools are like booked. So it's up to you, because they didn't have a reason to fire me. I didn't do anything wrong. So it was kind of like pushed out of the company, and it was really, really hard for me at the time because I had like such good relationships with my clients. I had such good relationships with my coworkers, and it was very like sudden the way that they did it. The girl that did it, she just fucking sucked. She was the worst. So stuff like that happens when you try to cling to something. Like, your intuition will tell you when it's time to move on from a job, when it's time to like move from your apartment, when it's time to like break up with somebody. And if you don't, if you cling to it, that situation is going to get so toxic that like you can't tolerate it anymore. And that's like the universe being like, it's time. Because it's karmic. It's not like meant for you forever. It's something that's like there for you to learn from and you to grow from and then move on. So my time as a counselor was over, and it was time for me to move on to something else that was going to develop me as a person. Yeah. So sorry, I'm just in a mood. I'm in a weird chatty mood. I'm also getting hot, so I'm getting red now. I don't know. This is gonna be a long video, guys. I might have to like pause and restart because I have I'm doing like a private reading in a little bit, and I think I'm gonna run into her time. Okay, anyway, long story short, this is this type of energy. Like, everything's falling apart right now. I have a ring light behind, sorry. Everything's falling apart right now, but it's because it needed to burn to the ground so you could start anew, you know, like a phoenix rising. Your time in those karmic situations is up. You need to move on, and if you don't move on, you can do it the easy way or the hard way with spirit. You can realize that your time is up, find another job, break up with this person, stop hanging out with people that aren't good for you, Or you can do it the hard way, where they are going to betray you, they are going to abuse you, you are going to get evicted, like you're going to get fired, like you're going to have to do it regardless. So easy way or hard way. So this is this is that energy. Other side. So spirit world is going to be more active with the transition into the 5D. This is that type of energy. So you're being guided by your ancestors, by past loved ones, by spirit guides right now. Deepest cut. This is like a really sad energy. Conduit is like attracting things to you. So this is very much like a dark night of the soul. Like somebody is really like, things are falling apart around them. They're feeling lost. They're feeling like nothing's going right, but they're being guided through this heartbreak, and they're attracting it so that they can attract new things to them. Let's do, wait, what was on the bottom of it? Where did I put that deck? Here, listen. This is like a card about like messages and music specifically. So if you're a big music person, I get messages in music all the time. So if you're like listening to a song, or you're listening to the radio and like a particular lyric is popping out to you, or like a song is stuck in your head, go Google the like lyrics of that song. It'll probably have something to do with what you're going through. Yeah. What should we do? What should we do? With cremation, healing through rest. So somebody is taking some time to rest, which is good. You've gone through something tough. Your light under the other side. So your guides are helping guide you to like what it is you're meant to do, your purpose, people that are meant for you, jobs that are meant for you, opportunities, the things that aren't meant for you that were holding you back, that were blocking you, are starting to fall away. So just trust that and rest if you need to. Don't feel like you always have to be doing something. That's like a big issue, especially in Western culture, well, Eastern too. You see people in like, or is it Japan or China, the people that will like literally die from exhaustion because they're like working 20-hour days. It's a big problem thinking that like always being busy, always doing something is like what you need to do to get ahead, but like resting and caring for your body, doing things that help you relax is just as important, because you can't keep going if you're on empty all the time. You need to take time to like refuel and take care of yourself. Alchemy. You can't see the artwork. See the little guy making gold. So out of like the wounds that you're experiencing, the pain that you're experiencing, like good things are coming from it. Like gold is coming from it. Like this is like transmuting that pain into like purpose. You go through bad things to help you grow, help you discover your strength, help you stand up for yourself and stop taking bullshit. You kind of have to be poked quite a bit by the universe to really stop giving a fuck. And this is kind of that energy. Like this happened for a reason, to help you become who you need to be for this next cycle in life. And then green, yeah, growth. So you're attracting things to you right now that are best for your growth. With listen, love grows love. Now this may be you, or this, oh, what's underneath? Yeah, this may be your partner here. This is like a divine partnership, twin flame type energy. With love grows love is under its codependency. So somebody had some type of codependency, may have had some type of addictions, maybe codependent with a karmic partner, and they're really going through it right now. They're being pulled away from those situations in kind of a rough way with the cremation. They probably hung on for too long when spirit was telling them to move on, so now they're being forced away. And that's rough. I'm telling you, I went through it, and I was so devastated and like also panicked because I didn't have like a job. So I ended up like walking dogs for a little bit, which is something that like, it was the like 8 months leading up to me being pushed out of that job. I kept getting like, one day, like my dad and I email a lot, just because we're both like, talkers, and sometimes it's hard on the phone because like both of us like to get like our thoughts in order. I think it's our moon signs. I have a Capricorn moon, which is one of the most difficult moons. Second most. He has a Scorpio moon, which is the most difficult moon. So both of us like have a hard time expressing ourselves, expressing our emotions. So we email because you can kind of like, you know, you have more space than a text. And anyway, my dad and I have done that for years. It's just like when I'm thinking about him, I'll just send him a long ass email, like pouring my heart out to him, and then he does the same to me. And then, anyway, he sent me an email about like dog walking. Lay down, babe. She's trying to get comfy, and she's looking at me like I need to fluff the pillows for her. He sent me an email about like a documentary about a guy that like walked dogs in New York. And I was like, oh, I'd really like to do dog walking. And then like a few months later, I got like a message about it again. And I started like looking into like, I was living in Richmond, Virginia at the time. And I started looking into Canine Adventure, which is a really great company. If you're local there, they're amazing. I loved working with them. They're great people. So I started like looking into them, and then I got kind of scared and I didn't. So after that, I was like, that's what I want to do for a little bit. So I did that, but it's like commission only. So I think the first month I worked for them, I made like $200 for the entire month. It was like really hard. It really struggled financially. But it was something I needed to learn. I needed to learn how to budget. Needed to learn. I've always had like, this is gonna be a weird video. Sorry guys. I grew up in poverty, in one of the poorest, I think at one point it may still be the poorest areas in Virginia. So there are people in my hometown that like don't have running water in their homes. Like a lot of people have dirt floors. Like my mom grew up in a house with dirt floors with 8 siblings. I think 7 or 8. It's just like extreme poverty. And so when you grow up in that, like money is always an issue. It's like that lack mentality that like, you're never gonna have money. And then also like people that have money are like bad and selfish and the enemy. So I had a lot of like lack mentality. So that's something that I had to like face to grow out of. And also that's when I started This Heart's Voyage, is when I kind of went through that. It was kind of like a transformative time in my life. So at the time it really sucked and it felt like my life was falling apart, but it like helped me plant seeds for where I am now. So it was a journey, but everything happens for a reason, and the stuff that you go through just sets you up for success. So, you know, you have your soul contract and it's not always easy. Anyway, let's get into, let's see where each person is in their soul contracts. Here's the box. This one is the Akashic Tarot, so it's Akashic Record. Here's the first one in their soul contract. The King of Keys, chess game, and balance. So King of Keys is kind of like a King of Pentacles energy. He's somebody that is very business oriented, trying to figure out their finances. They're not always like the best. Like they are somebody, because it's like an earth energy, like a Pentacles energy. So they are somebody that like does want a family, does want a legacy, but they can sometimes be like more focused on their like financial and not as much love. Chess game. Chess game is like somebody is trying to and then balance. trying to come into balance. With chess game, there may be obstacles in their way that they're trying to work through right now, and they're trying to like get together financially. They may have taken like a financial loss, but they're finding balance, and they're working things out with chess game. Let's see where the other person is. Where's the other person? Give me 4. The balance energies now. Birth. So birth is, it's a 4 card, so that's like foundations, stability. Somebody is, birth is like welcoming in a new energy, starting new projects. It can be literally like pregnancy. You can have children, or you could have like future children that are helping to guide you, like spirit babies. I've talked about them before a while back. They're the worst. Just kidding. Initiation. So like the second person is coming into like a new cycle. They're going through some type of initiation process. So you're probably purging right now, going through some darkness. I know lately I've been like really tired. Like I have been going to sleep at like 9:30 and like still exhausted. Like I think I went to sleep at like 10:30 last night, and I slept on and off. I always wake up between 3 and 5. I know there's like spiritual significance to that, blah blah. And when you go through ascension, it happens a lot. Also, when you're a person of light, darker entities like to bother you at night. It's happened to me since I used to have sleep paralysis when I was a kid. It's the worst. So there's a lot of spiritual activity at night. So spiritual people tend to have that like 3 to 5 wake up. If you are experiencing that, it's usually when you're going through some type of ascension. So your light codes are coming to your body at night and kind of like reformatting your DNA to help align you to the higher vibrations, the 5D. And that's why you don't really feel rested, is because like your body is reconfiguring itself at night. Not like, like physically, but like spiritually. Your DNA is reconfiguring itself. Anyway. Iridescent moon. So this is like the moon card. Honing in your intuition. Also, like maybe starting a new craft, a new project, and you're following your intuition on that. And then spring, autumn. So because it's upright, it would be spring. So again, a new season of blossoming. So somebody is coming like out of a darker time and starting to you're feeling more in tune with your intuition. You're kind of starting to blossom right now. You're bringing in a new cycle. I need one more card for this first person just to balance the energies. Let's see where they are. 2 worlds. This comes up a lot in readings that I do for masculine twins. It's 2 worlds is a card where you have past life trauma connected to your spirituality. So in past lives, you have been in a situation where you needed to choose like the 3D world, like living your mundane life with like the job that you do every day. It wasn't a like passion for you. It was just like, this is my responsibility. Like, like having like a family that like you're not really in love with your spouse. You don't feel passionate about your work. It's just kind of like, well, this is a situation and I have to be in this. And then you have like an opportunity to like live your dream, but it's like, you have to choose between the 2 worlds. Do I stick to my mundane life that's like predictable and by the book and what I know, or do I take a leap of faith to be with, this new person, or to pursue this passion of mine? And people that were 2 worlds come up, it's like trauma or sometimes karma from your past lives where you have often chosen the mundane life, and you've chosen the mundane life, and you've been given this opportunity in several lifetimes, and you have always chosen the mundane life. So it's like a karma that's been following you for lifetimes. So right now you feel a lot of pressure with that. Do I stick with my partner that I'm not in love with, that we've just been together forever, maybe we have kids together, Do I stick with this job that I don't care about, but it pays the bills and it's what I know how to do and it's easy? Like, do I stick with what's easy and what I know but I don't feel passionate about? Or do I do something brand new that's terrifying, but what my intuition is telling me to do, what I feel passionate about? That's two worlds. So somebody is like, this energy, they're trying to figure out their finances right now. They may be in a situation that they kind of like need to get themselves out of, especially with two worlds. It may be like they want to start a new career. Maybe their friends are very focused in the 3D, where they're not high vibrational people. They're more so focused on day-to-day life. They don't have any type of spiritual life. They're not really focused on a spiritual connection. They probably even make fun of that. So it's like, if I follow this new pursuit, like, I'm going to lose a lot of friends. I'm going to piss people off. My family maybe expects something out of me, and I'm going to have to like go a different way. But they're finding balance with that, and they're kind of being presented with the choice right now as they have in previous lifetimes, and it's kind of like a do or die type thing. That's that energy. A long read. I hope it's beneficial though. I feel like I'm vibing. I feel like I'm in more of a channel mode. Yeah, things are up in the air because this first person needs to decide. They're the hold up. The second person is starting a new chapter, so you're going to be good regardless. This first person, they're either going to have to stick with their mundane life that is going to become so toxic and miserable that they're not going to be able to stand it, or they go off and do what actually would make them happy. And the thing is if you feel like people are relying on you, like if they're people like friends that you know like wouldn't want to be your friend if you follow your passion, fuck them, is how I feel. I'm very much in an energy. I have been in the past year. It was going through severe abuse for 5 years, finally, and financial abuse, to where I was isolated from all my friends, and money was being stolen from me, and I was being blamed for it, because this other person had put themselves in debt. Doing really shady shit that they were hiding from me, and then somehow it was my fault that they were in debt because they paid for dinner sometimes, even though I did too, and they were stealing my rent money I was giving them to use for these shady activities. And it got so toxic to the point that I could not stand to even be in the room with this person. I felt like physically ill even being in their presence, and it got to the point that I was like concerned about my physical well-being. Like domestic violence for sure. A lot is severe physical abuse, and it was getting to the point that like I was afraid this person might try to kill me, in like a rage. So I was pushed out of it, and then being in the type of situation where it took that to get me out of it, and being severely traumatized, severe PTSD, and having people that loved me question my reality because this person seems like such a good person, as if I would just make that shit up and I'm just batshit crazy. Like, going through that, I just got to the point that it was like, fuck them. I don't care. If you choose my abuser over me, you're a piece of shit and you can go fuck off. Like, goodbye. I don't want you in my life. So that's really, I had to go through all of that bullshit to get to a point that like everyone can go fuck themselves. Like, I do not care anymore. If you were not on board with the Rachel train, you can go fuck yourself, and like, goodbye. I don't care. Like, nobody can tell me shit. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what you think about what I'm doing. I'm gonna do what I want to do, what makes me happy, what my intuition is telling me to do, and everyone can eat shit is how I feel. So I know that most people don't have to get pushed to that severe edge to get that way, but like, honestly, since I've had that mentality, my life has completely changed, because the people that were questioning me before, once I stood up for myself against those people, they either came around and realized that they were in the wrong and apologized and changed their behavior towards me, or they're not in my life anymore and I don't want them in my life anymore. You know, like, why are you having, like, why would you sacrifice your happiness and what you want to appease people that do not love you? They don't. If someone loves you, they are going to love who you truly are, and they are going to be happy to see who you truly are. Shittiness and all. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has a shadow side. Everybody has bad days. Everybody makes mistakes. What is that song? Is that Hannah Montana? It's the hair, guys. I'm in a vibe. Yeah, they don't really love you. If your friends like would not want to be your friend because you want to do this other thing or want to be with somebody that would make you happy, they're not really your friends. They're users. Period. Like, period. They are not people you need to have in your life. People that judge you, that try to keep you down, they're abusers, they are users, and they've got to go. We don't have time in 2020, guys. We really don't. This is the year to buy a fucking wig and do you and do what you want to do and love your life and thrive and not give a fuck about what anyone else thinks. Because if you love me, if you're down for me, you're going to be happy to see me happy, period. No matter what I'm doing, you should be happy to see me happy. And that's what I'm realizing is that my true friends are. I have never felt, I'm going to get emotional. I have never felt closer or more loved by my true friends than I have right now. Like, honestly, it blows me away. I'm emotional. It blows me away, like, how amazing my friends are, how like supportive and loving and like down for me these people are, that like I don't give a fuck about people that judge me. I don't give a fuck about the people that listen to the like lies my ex tells. Like, if you're going to take that person's side, you are in vibration with that person, and enjoy your shit life, like enjoy your shitty karma, enjoy, like, bye, goodbye, bye, I don't care. So that's like that's the vibe I'm in, and that's the vibe I want to see in 2020 with everybody, and I will continue to encourage that on this channel, is not to give a fuck what people think, period. Because if you we gotta move on, we gotta stop ranting, guys. Sorry, I'm in that kind of mood. I think it's carryover from yesterday. I told you things were gonna get sassy. Stop caring what people think about you. If you are putting up a front to appease other people, you are going to be exhausted. You are going to be miserable. Your life is going to be a watered down version of what you could really be. If you want to find success, if you want to find happiness, if you want to live your dreams, stop giving a fuck what everyone else thinks. If they really belong in your life, if they really care for you, if they're really down for you, you could decide you're going to fucking clown school, and they would be happy for you if that's really what you want to do and it's something that you enjoyed. You know, if there are people in your life that are going to shun you or not want to be your friend because you're pursuing something that you enjoy, they are trash, and you need to kick them out of your life anyway. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Who cares? Okay. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I avoided it. I knew it was going to turn into a sass ball. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. We're going to do tarot and just see what comes out. 6 of coins. So 6 of coins is stupid ring light. Can you see? 6 of coins is a Virgo card for me. It is a service card. It is being charitable. It's where it's coins, it's in terms of like time, in terms of like materialism, like giving people money, loaning people your time, being there for other people. 6 of coins can, when it's in a low vibration, verge on codependency, where one person is giving and giving and giving and the other person is not getting back. But 6 of coins is a card like, if you have been in that energy, it's going to come back to you now. So karmically, what you have given out is going to come back to you. Okay, that's a stack. 6 of swords. Get out of here, ring light. I can't see the card. You guys can't even see what it says. There. Where these are both an indigo. These are chakra cards. So the like indigo is your third eye. So following your intuition. Six of Swords is moving away from things. And it's also like moving away in the night. Like not making a big announcement. Hey, I'm moving away from you guys. It's like ghosting a little bit type of energy. Like moving away from things that aren't serving you quietly. And then Nine of Wands, which is an Aries card. King of Swords is an Aquarius card. Knight of Swords, Gemini, Ace of Wands. You guys can't even. How do I? There we go. King of Wands is passionate. He's a man that trying to think of how to word this. He like is, I want to say, man of desire, like desirable, but also like has desires and has passions and wants to pursue them. King of Swords is somebody that can be a little bit cold. They speak their truth though. It's an Aquarian energy, so it's a like, this is the truth, and like, I don't care, you know, like I'm gonna speak my truth. I don't care if that's like offensive to you. That's like why it can be a little bit cold, because it's not a like nurturing card. He's a man that like takes action, takes decisive action, but it's like a, this is the truth and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm not like tiptoeing around your feelings. This is just, it is what it is. Both of these are a purple card, so this is like a crown chakra, so like connecting to source on this. So following third eye is like intuition, your crown chakra is like source, so like spirit guides, communication with spirit guides, communication with your spirit teams, ancestors. Idiot upstairs stomping around. Knight of Swords, Gemini card, it's a blue card, so card of communication, somebody speaking their truth. And then Ace of Wands, a new beginning, a new passionate beginning, a new spiritual beginning. So we'll get further into this. Let's see, if I have 6 of coins here, where are my time-wise? My friend is probably going to call in a second. If so, I will have to edit this, unfortunately. If I stop and come back, it's because I had to do a reading. Queen of Coins. Yeah, somebody's going to get back what they've been giving out. Queen of Coins. It's another Virgo energy. She has a family. She's like a matriarch, so she has children. She has a family. She takes care of people. She's financially stable, so she's focused on like her 3D world. So this is somebody who could be getting money back with 6 of Coins and the Queen of Coins. So maybe you've loaned money out, you've loaned your time out to people, you've been very charitable and trying to help people, and that's going to come back to you now with success in business, success at work. Also could be like you're going to become a wife. Somebody wants to lock it down because that's Queen of Coins, like she's wifey material. She gets swooped up. 6 of Swords with the 10 of Swords. So you may have moved away from somebody and you're not speaking with somebody because there was some type of like backstabbing, betrayal, but like that cycle's ending now. Somebody may be taking advantage of your kindness, of your generosity. Why is King of Wands here? How I see this first spread, somebody was giving and giving and giving possibly too much. They got to a point that they were like, I'm not getting back what I'm putting out, so I'm going to move away from this person. Because you did that, the King of Wands then becomes the King of Swords. So King of Wands is somebody that's very sexual, that's very flirty, can be a little bit of a player, but high vibrational. He's a king, so you know, king is going to, in a high vibration, only have eyes for his queen, but in a low vibration, King of Wands is, you know, swinging it all over town, if you know what I mean. But King of Wands then becomes King of Swords. So, Cal. So somebody that was trying to come to you in kind of like a hot... We're in the middle of it. I don't want to restart, so I'm just going to have to call her back in a second. We're doing a reading, but she's my friend, so she'll understand. With King of Wands is 3 of Coins. So somebody's like wanting to come together and like work together, cooperate. With King of Swords, 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is a card of like not putting in any effort, resting. Let's see. So somebody's like wanting to come back and like build a foundation for you, work together, but they're not putting in any effort right now with the 4 of Swords. With the 9 of Swords is the 4 of Wands, so they do want a relationship. Sorry, I need to show you these. Green is heart chakra, so somebody is like, with the King of Swords, like speaking their truth, cutting things out, taking some time to rest. But they are going to come forward with the Knight of Swords and the 4 of Wands come forward fast to speak their truth. Knight of Swords is the fastest knight, but they do want a relationship. Why is Ace of Wands here? The Emperor. Yeah, that's the masculine. The masculine wants a new beginning, feeling very passionate. But they're not making any effort now. They're trying to rest. It looks like they've gone through something. Knight of Wands, Lord, 6 of Wands. Knight of Wands is the hot and heavy knight. It can be a fuckboy sometimes, but it's somebody wanting to come in like passionately because they want victory in the situation. Let's do my cards and then we'll... So they're probably not making any effort right now. Cycles are ending. And they're trying to kind of rest, and with the cremation before, they may be going through kind of like a dark night of soul where they're trying to sort their life out before they come forward. With the 6 of Coins, Queen of Coins is the lusty card. So somebody is kind of focusing on themselves, what they want, what they need, and it's making the other person feel a strong like sexual attraction to you. Maybe you're like focused on like your business, getting your coins with the Queen of Coins. 6 of Swords, 10 of Swords is the let's be real, you need a reality check. So somebody may have been in denial about the fact that maybe they weren't being the best towards you with the 6 of Coins, 6 of Swords. You needed to move away from this person because they needed a reality check that like, I'm not going to just stick around while you focus on yourself and kind of use and abuse me. I'm going to move away from you, and I'm not even going to like talk to you about it. 6 of Swords, I'm just going to like move away from you, and then I'm just going to ghost you because this cycle needs to end. And that was kind of like the reality check that they needed. 3 of Coins, King of Wands, honestly, truly. So they're having clarity now that, because 3 of it, where it's a 3 of Coins can be that there was a third party. Let's see. What is this? Why is this here? Why is this here? Okay. So they're having clarity now that you're wanting isolation from them. You're wanting alone time with them because they weren't being cooperative. They were being a Knight of Wands, maybe entertaining other people, maybe trying to like come to you and like with a like focus on sex and not really like respecting you and what you want, what you need with the 6 of Coins, because coins is like time, effort, money, and then Wands is like passion, desire. So maybe they were coming in as like a flirty playboy, and you're like, no, I have spent enough time trying to work things out with you. Like, I need that like time and effort back from you. And that's why the 3 of coins is here. Because 3 to the 6, like double the energy. They're wanting to put forth effort now to rebuild this together and give back what they've kind of taken. With Fam Bam and In the Know, this is it could be that you've kind of moved away from them and you're spending time with like your family, with your soul tribe, with your friends, and they're kind of realizing that you need some time alone. Or this can be that like their friends are in the know, so they may be going to people for advice. They may be asking some of their friends about where they went wrong, and their friends are like telling them the truth, like, yeah, you were fucking up, you weren't treating that person well. So 2 different storylines. With King of Swords and 4 of Swords, chill out, your expectations are too high. Can I get one more? Oh, I didn't tell you guys what this was. So Queen of Cups, Cancer card, 7 of Wands, 6 of Swords again, and Ace of Wands again. So somebody was being kind of codependent, overgiving. You've blocked that person out and you've moved away from them. When you do that, they want a new beginning, because they're having a lot of like desire for you. Chill out, your expectations are too high, and all in, you're ready. Divine partnership, a sure thing. So they are taking action right now to ready themselves for this relationship. And with chill out, this can be like chilling out, like they are 4 of Swordsing, like they are taking some time to kind of rest and get their head straight before they like head into this partnership with you. Or this can be they had too high of expectations of you. Like they were expecting you to be the Queen of Coins, the wife, the mother, the one that's like providing, but they were the King of Wands. So you two aren't on the same page. One person was being lusty, and one person was focused more on like trying to build something stable. With Knight of Swords and 4 of Wands, reminiscing, thinking about you, twinning, twin flames, mirroring each other. Yeah, they want to come forward and tell the truth about how they feel about you, and they might be aware that you are twin flames. If not, they want union with you with the 4 of Swords here, twin flame union. With Ace of Wands and Emperor, karmic lesson, just learn already. Can I get one more card? I need to call my friend back. I'm hot, guys. Can you see? I'm like sweating. It's my aunt and mom say glistening. I don't sweat, I glisten. Is that a Southern woman thing? Karmic lesson, take the risk, go for it, Garbage Island. So it was a karmic lesson for the masculine with the Emperor here, that they were in a situation where Garbage Island is a card of like, you need to check your surroundings. Like, you are entertaining people that aren't good for you. You're entertaining situations that aren't good for you. You're not taking care of yourself. You're making bad choices career-wise. You're making bad choices relationships and friend-wise. So it was a karmic lesson for them to kind of realize that while you moved away from them, that they do need to take a risk to be with you. With the 2 worlds earlier, they may be torn, and a lot of it has to do with past life karma that they have, but they are coming out of that and realizing that they do want to take a risk. They want to take a go at this. We'll see what's at the bottom of the deck. Incoming message, can we talk? They're going to reach out soon. They want to talk about things. They want to work things out. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.